Hello and welcome to another short drawing lesson. This week we're going to draw the classic Ford Mustang as seen in the famous Bullitt film. So the first thing we'll do is draw lightly a front wheel over here. I'm doing this slightly leaning because it's going to be zooming along in this direction. The next wheel will be 2.5 wheels. There's 1, 2.5 wheels further back. And then just a tiny bit above the centres of those wheels, you want a horizontal line. And then another one parallel to that, just beneath it. That'll be the bottom edge of the car there. Next, we've got a really long horizontal line that sits just above the front wheel, but stops when it gets to the back one. It extends out the front. And on that, we can work out our overhangs. So the front, we've got half a wheel overhang. We want this kind of angle there. And then it droops down to meet a point level with that bottom of the car. For the back of the car, we come to that point on the other side of the wheel, maybe a tiny bit higher up. And so the rear overhang is about 1 wheel, quite a long overhang at the back, bigger than the front one. So from here we measure 1 wheel further back and come up to a point about level with the, well, just beneath the top edge of that wheel there at the back. That's going to be the furthest back point, at which point it slopes down and then slopes to meet the under tray. And above that point, it slopes the other way towards the car. And now we need to do another line that's also parallel to that previous one. Heads off down the back there. When it gets to this about this half wheel mark, that's where it steps up a little bit before sloping down to meet this point. For the door, we're going to go about 1/2 a wheel back, a slightly curving vertical line there, curves a bit more at the top, and then that can have an A-pillar, sloping A-pillar, a curving top edge of the side window, which then curves round so that it comes down just in front of that step. And the back edge of the door does the same thing, similar kind of angle. You can give your windscreen a bit of thickness and the bonnet leading up to it. Give the roof a bit of thickness. And it extends beyond this point a tiny little bit before stepping down and then sloping to meet your rear wing. So we've got our basic shape down. We need to refine it a little bit. So at the front here, we've got this kind of funny little overhang, a lip, and there's a pair of those because there's another one over the headlight itself. And at this point where the angle changes, that's where we're going to put just a simple bumper. For the rear bumper, we've got, that's just kind of set in just in here. And just in front of it, there's a reflector. There's also a little divider in the window here. It's parallel to this rear edge. And we've got a scoop, an air intake kind of shape to put in here, just off that earlier line we put in. So now we can start making it look a bit more three-dimensional. We're going to, as I said, we'll do this in motion, so I'm going to add some dust. And for the shadow, I'm using these fast strokes because they'll look like whiz lines. And then we'll show the wheels on the far side of the car and darken the underside, as well as adding a few little lumps and bumps for the stuff that's under there, like the exhaust show the wheel on the far side at the back too. So this is where you can press a bit darker, because this is where we know we're happy with the basic shape and we just want to make it look nice. You can even do little whiz lines off the centres of the wheels. Maybe darken just under these arches. They could even have a tiny little suggestion of a lip. There's a number plate or something there, or a scoop underneath the bumper. You can darken that part because that's an overhang, and there because of the air intake. We'll just make that still a bit clearer. Basically anything underneath can be nice and dark because that's going to be in shadow. We've got a door handle to put in there. Windscreen wipers. A wing mirror. There's a series of little vents in this part there. We'll darken the underside there because we can see up into the roof. And now you've got to have a go at drawing a little Steve McQueen. He's going to be silhouetted as well, so it doesn't matter how perfect it is. It should look all right once it's a silhouette. And a little whiz line, bits of dust coming off. Some scuffs on the car from all the whizzing around is done. Maybe just show that these wheels are a tiny bit of detail on these wheels, but it's not that detailed a sketch, so I don't want to go overboard. Maybe just firm up a few of those early lines. And there we have it. Steve McQueen and the Bullitt Mustang. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments how you got on, and if you've got any suggestions for future cars that I'd like to draw. Otherwise, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you for another one soon.